Hello, everyone. As our show season, Monday and Tuesday night shows come to an end here in a couple of weeks, our Christmas season is just starting to gear up. I'm Bob. This over here is Mr. Santa Randall Checkerlee or Randall Santa Checkerlee, however you want to say it. I just call him Randy.
Great. Hey, just don't make sure you call me for dinner and all those kind of things. You can. I've
Don't
been
call
called
me
a lot
for the
worse too by the other stuff. I've been called a lot worse. Oh my goodness, I've been called worse.
just don't call me for the dishes, right?
Oh, I just never. I no good at doing dishes. I mean, whenever I wash dishes, there is water everywhere. I even have a dishwasher, but I just don't use it. But I do. I can splatter. I can make the window gets wet the way I do the dishes. But I guess there's nobody here to complain besides me.
But dub one man in the sink with his duck. Yeah, for
Good to
sure.
see
All right. Well, this
everybody.
is episode 36 today, guys. October 16th. Randy likes to say,
TGIM.
that's right.
Thank
That's
God it's
right.
Monday, folks. Thank goodness it's
That's
Monday.
right.
Can you believe another beautiful Monday? I don't know how beautiful it is out there, but it's okay. Say
Well,
they're
man,
talking
we've been
about
down the
yeah.
50s the last couple of nights. It's 64 degrees right now in Big D, Dallas.
No.
64 and sunny. We've got in the outlying areas upper 30s tonight, low 40s here in the concrete dome. It's here, and I am so glad, man. I've been waiting on this. We are just jubilant.
You get the parka on and everything and worrying about how cold it is in the 60s. That's like they were talking 40, 50 degrees less for you guys. I mean that's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a lot.
I did dig my red Santa flannel pajama bottoms out.
Got my red flannel
Yep.
coat on here.
Nah, it's still short sleeve, but I did have to dig those in my winter house shoes out. Late night when I'm up taking the puppy dogs out for their last walk around the backyard before we go to bed. It's quite chilly out there at 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's
Yeah,
It's
it
chilly.
is. It
Chilly.
is.
How
It
can you
is.
say 60 degrees is chilly? Up here, we're barbecuing and wearing shorts and sandals at 60 degrees. Oh, but
Yeah,
that's
well,
okay.
I'm better than most. Most dudes already have their coats out or their sweat shirts and that sort of thing. I still short sleeve t-shirt most of the time, but you know I like I said I can't take off enough clothes when it's 110 with a heat index of 115 to stay cool, but I can sure put enough clothes on to stay warm if I need to. So
Well, you can take enough off, but that causes other problems, Bob. That's the only problem. That's the only other problem. I mean,
good point, Randy. Good point for sure. Well, all right, man. I do want to at this time mention, and I didn't mention it to you, Randy, but I'm sure you saw the post on the Tuesday Night Live show. Our Tuesday Night live broadcast tomorrow night has been time change. We've had to accommodate Santa Claus, as we've talked about on this show. We've been working on the interview for some time. There is a time difference between here and North Pole time that, we all wonder about that North Pole time. He's sitting up there on top, and what time does he go by? Well, there is a time difference. And so he reached out yesterday and asked that we can have it earlier in the afternoon for him to accommodate the production that he has going on. So 11 a.m. tomorrow, live Tuesday Night Live at 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. That'll be 12 o'clock on the East Coast, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, left, right, in the center, Mountain Time, and 10 o'clock, and here Central Time, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. We will do Tuesday Night Live interview with Santa Claus. Now, don't fret if you're working or you have other plans. I know many of us have already started our season. Uh, it still be recorded and still pick it up over on the Tuesday Night Live page and on YouTube at the Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. So don't fret. You can go back and watch it at your convenience anytime you want to, as many times as you want to.
many, many.
But 11 a.m. tomorrow will be our live broadcast for Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
All right, Randy.
good. He's such a busy man this time of year. That's why. It's hard. It's hard.
Well,
I'm just glad it worked out. 'Cause It's gonna
what are
be.
you
It's,
going to
it's gonna
say
be.
to the big guy when he says, I need a favor?
You got to say yes. You've got to accommodate. You've got to accommodate to the Santa. You've got
We
to. So
we had to jump through hoops, make some arrangements, do some things different, worry about Everybody's going to be sitting there at 7 o'clock tomorrow night waiting for it to come on, and it won't come on because it's actually going to have already broadcast. But again, tell all your friends if they watch the Tuesday Night Live show, 11 a.m. tomorrow, the real Santa Claus interview with Spangle, Bob, Angela behind the board. And again, if you want to watch it at your convenience, it's always recorded and put over on the group page and our YouTube channel.
You can
All
still
right,
watch it
Randy, are you
tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Then exactly right on time as when you're used to watching Tuesday Night Live. You can watch it exactly at 7.
You sure
It'll be
can.
there
And
ready
and
for
we,
you.
we thought about we thought about trying to do this, but the StreamYard platform is not conducive to doing what we wanted to do. What we was going to do is go ahead and do the live broadcast and then do an encore presentation at 7 p.m. for everyone who might show up thinking the show's fixing to start. But we couldn't work that out. So you're on your own. You pay your own tab. Go over and watch it at 7 p.m. on the YouTube and or the. That's right, exactly. And if you need to watch it at 7, then it's conveniently there, recorded and stored for your convenience.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to
All
be.
right, Randy, are you ready to get into this big old burger?
Yeah, I am. I had an early breakfast today, so I am ready.
Well, let's lick our chops and go after it. All right, as usual, something burger. The show about nothing with a whole lot of something. That's right, two topics, two hot topics for the week. Randy has a great one today. As always, he's Johnny on the spot, and we're going to let him go first.
Thank goodness, Bob. You're always too nice. Just man, oh man. Actually, guys, it's kind of one of those things. What happens sometimes? This happened a few times when you're out there as Santa. How do you handle this situation? Is basically what it is. How does everybody handle the situation? Doesn't matter if it's Santa or Mrs. Claus, because the same situation can happen. How do you handle a situation when you're working at an event and you've already worked overtime, and let's say you're done at 3 o'clock and it's 3:30 or so. You've already worked overtime and you have to leave to get to go to another event because you can't be late. How do you handle that situation with the client? How do you handle that situation? If it's like you worked overtime, there's still children there in the line, but you're going to be late for your next event. How do you handle that with the client that I've got to go? It's not fair to the next client for me to be late because I'm running late here. So how do you other Santas and Mrs. Claus can either, I shouldn't say confront, but handle that situation with the client? Um, how do you handle it, Bob? If you
Well, for me, Randy, I think that the important way to look at it is preparation. When you prepare for an event, and if you're not doing a contract, sorry guys, but you need to do a contract. And in that contract, it needs to state unequivocally that your time starts when you get there and your time ends at the end of what they have, uh, for better lack of better word, hired you for. Your contractual time frame that you're going to be at that event, because you have other events to make it to, and it wouldn't be fair to the event behind them to run late, just like it wouldn't be fair for the event before them to run you over and run late to their event. And they will understand, and again, if you get down to that time frame, you just have to say, I am so sorry, but Santa has to go. I have other obligations that I've got to meet.
yeah,
Of
that's
course, you
okay.
would say that to the organizer, the party event coordinator, whoever is in charge. That's who you want to, hey, tap on the shoulder and say, remember, I've got to go. And I had to do that last year with one of the photographers that I was working with. Several different days, she tried to run me over 10, 15, 30 minutes, and I had other appointments. And I had to flat tell her, I cannot do it. My time was when I came up them stairs. My time is when I'm supposed to walk down them stairs, and this is what it says, and this was the agreement we had, and it's just the way it is. It's not. I'm not being ugly. It's just business.
Right. And that's what we have. That's the business part of this holiday business is being able to control it. Like Bob said, I mean, definitely do the contract. Don't miss a contract. If it says you're 3 o'clock, now we all know if you're running a few minutes late, it shouldn't really affect. Hopefully, you're not that close to your next event. But sometimes it can go and you have to put into it. And I know I've had it's just I was like those families. Oh, just my child, just one more family. Just can you do just one more family? Well, then there's one more family after that. There's one more family after that, and all I've always said is just I have another. I can't. It's not fair to the next people, the next
Again,
families, boys and girls that I'm late to see them. Yeah,
again, in your preparation, you never know, especially if you live in a big city like Detroit or Dallas, what the traffic is going to be like, what you're going to run into from point A to point B to point C. You have to. It is a must that you build in extra time between gigs. I mean, it would be rosy if we all had a helicopter and we go and be right there within minutes, but that's not reality. Reality is, I don't care where you go in a big city, you are going to run into traffic almost every single time. I would say every time. I can't remember
every time.
going out not
Yeah.
running into stop traffic or something going on, something that always holds you up, and then you start freaking out. Oh my God, I'm going to be late, and then you get all frazzled. And when you get there, you're not your 100% self. It's hard to jump out of being frazzled because of an unseen uh, situation, right? And
Right.
jump right into character and not still be a little bit frazzled as you try to slip in and get into character. So build in extra time,
It's up here same way. We have to worry. We have to add in even extra time because of the weather. We don't know what the weather's going to be like.
right? Right.
And that's so you have to add even more to that. But if for some reason there are some clients out there that don't understand that that you can't do one more family or stick around a little longer. So I'm just kind of curious what some of their great. We have so many people on here. We have Ray, we have Tom, we have a bunch of people. But Ray's got something on here. In fact, I'm going to read it on my phone. Probably easier reading it on the screen. Probably. Um, Ray said Rex good. It depends on who is the cause of me being scheduled is my fault. I stay, then I notify the next one. If it's if you're late to the one, you will stay a little later the next. If it like Rex is saying, if it is his fault, um, because they are behind or changed out be a prearranged for my appointment, then sorry, Santa has to stay on schedule. I did it in an event that they asked me to be there early, so I was there early. Then when I arrived, it even went later than my original time, and I had to leave at the time still, because you just have sometimes you have to do that just because we all know we only do our money or our events for the 6 7 8 weeks, so we have to fill in as much as we can. But yeah, Rex says, Rex got a good point. Depends upon whose fault it is, because sometimes we can be late, like Bob said, we can be a little late. We don't plan on it. I know I was late for an event because of the travel and the snow. I let them know that I was going to be a few minutes late. I made sure that I stayed longer then, because that's then, like Rex said, that's Santa's fault. Um,
Yeah. It's a
Sean,
snowball
good to
effect.
see you. And Sean's got, whoops, I'm sorry, I almost. Sean says, pay attention to the time, start winding it down before the departure. Um, uh, stress this when you begin to event plan the event. The end needs to be accepted before the time is up, and transition is smoother. That's just let them know that like Sean is saying, um, let your client know it's just about time for Santa to go, or we'll cut the line off, or whatever the time is. Is there anybody else that needs a picture where it's time for Santa to go? Whatever those lines are. You don't want to be late. The roughest time is when you're already going over and you tell them you have to leave, or it's like, well, you can't disappoint a child by leaving. Then that gives the guilt feeling to you, saying their poor little child. Well, they just showed up. Well, you don't want to disappoint the child, but you have to go. It's a fine line to walk. It's at least it's always uh, it kind
Time
of goes.
management for sure.
There you
Hey,
go.
while we're waiting for another comment to come in, let's
Yeah,
say hello to Parker. He's on today. You said hi to Rex. Santa Tom, I love his response here in just a moment. Sean White's on with us. She's got a comment that just popped up. Randy, I'll let you cover that in a moment.
yep.
Randy and
Bart's
Debbie Neely are watching today from Kaufman, Texas. Santa
Bart's
AJ
on.
is on. Santa Tom says, "Is that Randall Santa Checker Lee. Think he's in disguise.
I'm in disguise. Isn't this the Halloween show?
Yeah, right. And then of course we have Bart with full fall colors in full bloom in Wisconsin.
Lucky man, that's beautiful. That is breathtaking, Bart. That is. I saw a few nice today when I was out driving, but I wanted to see some the other day, but just the wind we had the other day is going to take a lot of the leaves down very, very, very quick. So I see Jeff's on. Jeff, good to see you. See who else we got. I'm going to scroll back down. There we go. Bob, my goodness. Mark Mark Walker just came in from Alabama. How's the weather
Marco in
down in
Alabama
Alabama?
says hi.
Wow. Hi,
Diane
Diane.
says you look a little different.
Yeah, it's that transition. It's that. Can you believe it's already? I mean, it's already that time. It's just
It is amazing though to see the transition as you go. And you just had what you said, your second round.
set. Yeah, I've had two
Second round of
bleachings now.
bleaching,
Yep.
and amazing from 1, 2 to 3, the difference that you've taken on. Now we skipped over Sean White's response to the hot topic. If you want to go
Oh, I'm
back and pick it up, Randy.
sorry. Pay attention to time and
Oh,
start.
okay, I'm sorry. You did. You did.
Yeah, I
You
did.
got
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
no problem. Yeah, I hope I
I'm
didn't miss.
There's one on here.
looking at both screens, so I'm trying to keep up.
Parker said
Uh,
yes. Sorry, Parker. I did say the F word a few times. I did. Free, and free. I showed the word. That's what Parker said. I said the my favorite F word.
yes, he did. Santa Tom has a YouTube. He's on YouTube today watching. Thank you, Tom, for watching on YouTube. That's a great way to do it. Gives us a hit on there, count towards the YouTube algorithm. So you want to catch Tom's comment there, Randy? Do you see it?
Let me get back to Tom's
Santa
here.
Tom High.
I got to go back all the way down here. Am I going the wrong way?
You want me to catch it?
There we go. Okay, I'm too new to this to give a 30, 60-minute buffer. I wait in the car around the corner too much. Well, there sometimes there's nothing wrong with sitting in that car before an event and being early.
That's
Um,
right.
I
Better safe than sorry.
a week ago at my Harvest Fest here at the Quinder Cut, I was an hour and a half early to my magic shows just because I knew it was crazy getting there. I had to take a cart and park my car one place and take a golf cart with my magic to the event, and so I didn't want to be late, so I was super early, but it's okay. I see Carl White's on. Let me do Carl White's. He's got one on here. One of the 7 habits of highly effective people is begin with the end in mind. I try to build a schedule that has enough padding between the events. Also for these types of challenges. Oops, sorry, going same thing. My biggest issue is when I arrive a little early and the client is not ready for me and start until after I agreed to start time. Yeah, and let's say if you're scheduled at 10 o'clock in the morning and they're just not ready and you sit around and it's 10:30 and um, yeah, Santa, it just doesn't, or it doesn't work that way because what is Santa going to do? Just stand there, So if they're not ready, I see Ernie. Good to see Ernie. Got to ask how the weather is in Texas. Ernie, Bob said it was in the 60s. That's what Bernie said.
64 degrees and sunny and a pretty good little breeze out there today. So you step out, fall has arrived.
That's good.
Read the topic again for Bart. He got on late. He wants to know what the topic is.
The hot topic today, Bart. Okay, go ahead. And Bart joined us late. So Randy, you want to read the hot topic again?
Bart, is what the topic is how do you handle this situation when you're working at an event, and you've already worked overtime. You've worked past already your scheduled leaving time, and you have to leave, so you're not late for the next event. How do you handle it with that client? What do you say? That you have to leave. That's what just kind of, we were just wondering because there's so many times they just keep us a little bit later. And sorry, Tom. I'll put the other glasses on. Is that a little bit better? There you go. Tom said I even changed glasses that threw him off. I'll put the old one, the other one's on. Um, I can see better with these. Maybe that's a good idea. But yeah, it's to find out what, because we will all run into the situation of, we're running it over because the children take a little longer, or you didn't start exactly at 10 o'clock, you started at 10:15, so everything runs a little later, but you have to leave. How do you present that, or how do you handle that with the client saying Santa's got to go, I have other boys and girls to see at another party? That's the topic for it. That's this topic, and Bob's got a great one too, but that was my question, because you always run into that question. At least I've run into that situation a few times. um Sean's got another one here. All righty, we'll read Sean's ones again. I will have a few events this year that will be close for time. So fingers crossed I can get out and to the next one without a problem. I will have to leave, tell him I got to go back to the North Pole. Um, and that's, and it's that one line that I said a minute ago that always runs in my mind when a parent or a client will say, well, you can't leave. You don't want to disappoint the children. That just gets me, is like, you're leaving that child you haven't seen, and those are the sayings for Santa that just like, oh, I gotta leave, but you're telling me I'm going to disappoint them if I leave, but I gotta leave. So of course, yeah, Rex says great too. Rex has, I have used a recording on my phone. I have used for them to call from North Pole about the production is being down, everything else, and that's a great one. If you have a recording on your phone, boom, oh, I have to go, and that's probably, they have a hard time arguing with that. That's a good one. Ernie says, in Santa mode, goodness gracious, look at the time. I must get going before Mrs. Claus is worried about where I am. And sometimes you just have to like Bob kind of said earlier, just kind of take your character and make a little authority out of it, and kind of what Ernie just said, and just boom, I gotta go. It's just and not be timid about like what I'm kind of worried about, the how the children, and they'll understand. They will. Carl's got another one. I have to leave now, but they won't be disappointed on Christmas morning. Wow, nice, Santa.
Great response. Great response.
Great one. Yeah. They won't be disappointed on Christmas. That's right. Very good, man. As always. Wait a minute. I missed somebody here. Positively, if I book that tight, I let the customer know I have to leave. It's gotta be Scott Parker. It's gotta be Parker with that one there. It's gotta be
Bart.
No, it's Bart.
Bart. Okay.
It's Bart. All right. Real quick, I want to respond back to Ernie on the weather in Texas. As I said, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's 64 degrees. Now, we had a cold front move through, but looking at the weather forecast for Galveston, it's 68 there today. That's 4 degrees warmer than now. Humidity is low at 45%, which is what makes the air, cool, the low humidity. The wind is 17 miles per hour coming off the ocean and or blowing into the ocean. And today will be the coolest day. By next Sunday, back to 80 and 73, and the same for Monday, 80 and 74. So I'm not sure what day you arrive next week, Ernie, but it looks like probably pretty fair weather for Galveston.
Good. Sean said, thanks for bringing up the
meteorology team from the North Pole.
Didn't they used to do the thing, or was that just the radio announcers that did it the old voice? It's warm. It's cold.
Yeah, the old what I call the DJ voice. One that Scott Sheraton likes to use a lot. He was the DJ, and he gets into that really, radio voice really. When I was younger, I could do that. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Sean says, thanks for bringing up this predicament up. I will have to take some time to think about some ideas. And that's what the whole thing is. And thank you guys. Thank you for saying that, Sean. That's what all this is all about anyway. For everybody to start thinking about these things that can happen, and the conversation and everything else to all make us a better Santa and Mrs. Claus, because of these things will happen. So that's the reason why we do this. And speaking of a reason, here's a reason why Bob's got another great question you're going to think about too.
Well, it is, and I mentioned to Sean's comment there, I mentioned the P word. Randy looks at me like, what? Preparation.
Oh,
Always be prepared, Sean. Have something, in your mind and know what you're going to do if that situation arises. Try to be prepared. Again, the best remedy is to let that client know in a contract that you have that dead drop time, as was stated, that you've got to leave. And again, like you said, if you start to see that time is running low, and you don't need to sit there and watch your clock, but you can kind of get a feel for the time. You see that it's starting to run low, maybe you speed up a little bit, or you do things a little quicker, or you figure out a way to save a minute or two. But it's a tough situation being, like Randy said, especially if that organizer wants to say, well, this child's been waiting and now he's not going to get to see you. That crushes your heart.
that's the ones that are always hard to say no to, but you've got to go because you're already late. You're already running late as it is. And just not making that money for that 15, 20 minutes is not the big deal. I just don't want to disappoint the next event. And that's where then it just snowballs. So
So Ernie says Tuesday next week. I'm pretty sure the weather will still be in the 80s, Ernie. So bring your swimming trunks, brother. All right, let's see. Are we ready to move on? It looks like Ted Flynn joined us late. Hi, Ted. Good to have you in, brother.
hey Ted, good to see you. See you tomorrow night.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next question. And this is another one that may get you to thinking, and that's what this is all about, is to get you prepared, to help you think, to help you know of things that maybe you haven't thought about. How many of you closets carry accessories for events, like Santa toy bags draped over your shoulder, or a belt pouch with candy canes in it, or a book bag strapped over one shoulder with a number of storybooks in it? I know if you like doing stories and you have that opportunity, I bought a number of years ago, probably 12 years ago, a book bag from Eileen Strom down in born in Texas. Everybody knows Eileen, I think. Beautiful bag, red bag's got the reindeer on the front with all the special scroll work and things, and it carries about 6 or 8 books, depends on the size of the books. And I carry that with me. That way, I've got books in case I need to, and they're all the popular books. What about a bag with giveaways? A special effects in it, like your D-Lights, or I've got a couple little hand puppets that just fit right over the top of your hand. And at the mall, I've even gone as far as getting my set manager to take a box, wrap it like a present, cut a hole in the top of it, hole in the bottom of it, and I can run my hand up through there and have a puppet pop up and talk to the children through the top of the gift box, which is a really cool effect also. Now I carry it's a green tool bag. I bought it at Home Depot, and it zips up and has pouches in it and really cool stuff. But I can pack that thing full of tattoos and stickers and coins and balloons, whatever you want to give away, everything, along with some special effects items. I even carry. I don't know how many of you saw the Minions, but they had that blue gun. They call it a fart blaster. Fart blaster. I carry that in there. It's fantastic to have. Icebreaker. Stick it in the cushion behind you, and the child, doesn't want to smile, doesn't want to laugh, doesn't want to look up at the camera, whatever. You can squeeze it behind your back, and they instantly just. Ooh. So anyway, how many of you carry stuff like that?
Yeah, you always go prepared like that to bring things along. If
The
it's
P
just
word.
Yeah, prepared. Yeah, being prepared. That is the bottom line. Carry that bag along with a book to read. Like you said, the squeaky toys, everything. Just have those things. Even if you got extra gloves in there, whatever, it's a good thing to carry, which we're going to talk about in my segment later on, all that stuff too. But let me see who else is going to be doing here. Um, Depend upon. Well, that's you can read. Oh, there we go. But yeah, it's necessity to be. How many of you guys were? What is it? Boy Scouts always come prepared. Is that the
Yeah,
motto? So
yeah, the model, part of the model. That's right.
yeah.
So,
So
hey, Charlie. Charlie joined us. Bart says it depends on the event. What we bring along, try to customize the accessories for the event. Great point. For me, it's just a bag full of stuff, and I carry it, and it's always with me if I need it. Uh, All right, let's see here. It jumped on me. Boy, I hate it when it jumps. Ted says, I always have a bag with me. Do you never know what's going to happen? If you don't, you should. Ernie
Very
says,
true.
all kinds of accessories. I have a large bag on rollers that has prop magic tricks, book coins, giveaways, etc. Lots of good stuff. Great job, Ernie. Rex says, I always have my toy bag with on visits, and thanks to your partner there, I now have a potential of the North Pole in it. Portal. Sorry, Rex.
A portal.
Portal to the North Pole in it. 8 candy canes, books, stuffed animals, more books, animals, books, and more. What, Angie?
That's an 8-foot candy cane.
Oh, 8-foot candy cane. I'm as bad as Randy on reading these comments.
I know. I'm a horrible reader. It's terrible. Nobody can be as bad as me, Bob. I'm rubbing off on you. That's not good.
We're going to get after it, aren't we? Let's see. Sean says, I carry a basket with small props and books. If it's a parade or event that I'm walking, I have a real vintage purse. Very cool. She's always accessorized. Lady. Let's see. Carl Watts says, I carry a red tool bag, actually a first responder bag, or a Santa toy bag on every event. I also have a leather pouch on my belt. So Carl's got it all going on there. Hey, Mike Hutchins, good to see you, brother. Yep, have props for home visits and a shoulder back for a walk around and mobile work. Very good. Sean says, I have a large Santa bag for the children to put their letters in so I can carry it back to Santa. Hey, great idea. And it looks like Tom McGraw is joining us today. Hello, Tom. Good to have you on with us today, brother. Got a fantastic crowd with us today.
Yeah. Hi, Mike. Mike's on. Mike says, yep, props and home visits are shoulder bags. And then of course, there's Mike. He can get that guitar out and just entertain anything. That Mike is just, wow.
Tom high up in Vancouver, Washington says he's got a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket that works. Paint that dude red and put some white stripes on it, Tom. Rex says, I also have a small bag with North Pole coins that has Magic Snow from Santa Magic Pro that is cold to the touch. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen Larry Talbot demonstrate the snow. Pretty cool stuff. Randy, you've got snow. You showed it.
Yep. I don't know if I got any here right close to me or not. I don't think I have any close to me right now. Yeah, it's just that polymer stuff. It's phenomenal stuff. It's to make cold snow right in front of the children. Is just so much fun. I mean, it is. Talk about magical. A little bit of water, a little bit of polymer, and it just expands, and they can touch it, and it's cold. Man, you keep that you just need to keep a little vial, little tiny shaker of it in your bag. Doesn't have to be the big container. So,
and that's the cool part is all these effects that we've talked about, all the things that you can carry with you are smalls. Yeah. Small items, tattoos, stickers, candy canes, even the 8-foot candy cane that you do, that Rex talked about. It's tiny. Cylinder. It starts off small, but it ends up big. So, and the snow is another prop that is fantastic to use. Doesn't take up much space in your bag. So, well, all right, Randy, I think we had a great response today. Like I said, got a great crowd with us today, a fairly large crowd. Everybody's participating. Thank you guys so much for your comments. Again, the more we share, the better we are. Help each other out, give each other ideas. The recipient of all of our hard work, dedication, and sharing are those we serve in our community, children, adults alike. So thank you. All right, let's move along to santascloset.org, and we'll be back on the other side.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Couple of really quick points here before we move along. Jackie Chamberlain says, sorry to be late. The afternoon got away from me. You know what? I think we've all experienced that lately. It seems like the afternoon always seems to just run past you, and very understandable. Good to have you with us, though, Jackie,
Glad to
as
hear, Jackie.
always.
And everybody
Second
else. Glad
point,
to hear, Mike.
Second point is that Wade and Scarlett have been out of the office at santascloset.org for the last couple of weeks. They went out to a couple of the schools. They've been out and about. So if you had a winning coming from them from one of the shows from the last couple of weeks, just hang tight. They're going to get them out just as soon as they get back in. And I think they're back in the office today, to be frank with you. But anyway, if you haven't got it, just be patient. They will get it out. He's very good about getting stuff shipped. All right, Randy, are you ready?
Man, this is another good one. It freaks me out every week when I read these things and think, what is Bob? Well, I must be doing something in the middle of the night that's looking for all this kind of stuff. But this is a very cool one, guys. Are you ready? It's one of those blank, 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 blank. Oh, no, not that many, but seems like quite a few. But it's going to be a good one. Are you ready? Here we go. The air quality in Finland is the best in the world, according to the data released by the World Health Organization. Now, Finland's vast forest plays a very important part of that. Forests cover over more than, the forests cover more than blank of the land in Finland. So we need that, blank of the land in Finland. There are over blank national parks in Finland. Blank and blank blank national parks being the largest. Which are the largest? So what we're looking for is basically four answers, I believe. I think if I've got it here.
Yeah, four.
Four answers. The how big of a vast area does it forest cover in Finland, which would kind of be a percentage. I'll give you a hint, but a percentage. And then, of course, the next one is are cities that are over. Wait a minute. How many? First, how many national parks are there? That's a number. How many national parks? And then it's a city and everything where all the national parks are. So it actually is almost, yeah. I don't know if that last one, is that one word, the last one? Is that two words?
It's two words, but those are actually the name of the national parks that we're looking for.
Okay.
The two largest national parks being, we need the name of those two.
And I'm not going to try to pronounce them because I can't even read the word the and half the time. So those words will never be able to come out of my mouth right. But you've got a few blanks. How much of a vast area does the covered percentage of Finland of forest? How many national parks are there in Finland? And of course, the cities that are in the national parks are being, where are they at? Man, it's a cool one. Again, I have no idea. Bob, it's like, what do you search for searching for something like this? What gets that mind going to think like, I know we were talking about Finland before and Lapland and everything else, but wow, it's just cool as can be, though.
That's where it came from when I was researching Lapland. You know, and you research stuff, and there's just such a treasure trove of information in just 2 or 3 paragraphs of a search. And you find something that just grabs you, and you say, man, I got to use that next week. Now, a couple of times on the Tuesday shows, the next week's trivia has been given away because it was associated with the trivia for that night. But I was going to
Oh
use that next
no!
week.
Yeah, you did say that last week, didn't you?
I
Oh no,
was
that
going
was
to use that next week.
good old Spangle messed that one up, didn't you? I saw that last.
Yeah, that's all right. There's plenty more out there. You just have to, sit down, come up with a topic, do a little research, find out what the most interesting part of that research is, and put it in a question form. Sometimes the questions are there. Sometimes I have to actually formulate the question, and that's the ones I formulate are the ones that are hard to understand.
I love the
Anyway,
blank ones, man. The blanks are blank, 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 and it's I know our guests. They will come and answer. They will search and they will. But it's amazing. The percentage is a pretty high percentage and an awful pretty high amount of national parks. That's a lot for. I mean, Finland's not a big area. It's not like it's the whole United States, you know. And of course, those
okay.
words. It'll be up to you how you pronounce them.
So next Monday, I was going to use this one for our trivia question. I'm going to go ahead and give it away this week. Okay. Bob is full of blank.
Moving on right away.
All right, let's go ahead and do our exit video and we'll be back. All right, it's just into the studios. Well, it's not just in. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and we're going to keep talking about it because it's just something important that we're associated with. Join us in San Antonio, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2024, for the two Christmas schools form North Pole Cornerstones, a collaboration between the two. Santa Nana's Holiday University, Lucky Roy's founder on the left in of your screen in the picture there, and Sat Bob Santa the Business Being Santa, Gordon Bailey, the founder there. In honor of those two, the vision that they had for their legacy and their schools, groundbreaking on both parts, the timing of when they started their schools, the timing of their cancer, the timing of their association and last meetings. It's just meant to be. We're super excited again. We will run kind of through this real quick. You've got instructors Deanna Golden, Rex Ray, Chrissy Kovic with CostumeMagic.com, also an instructor for Sat Bob's as well as Rex. Judith Broderick and Deanna, of course. Judith Broderick being Santa Nana's Holiday University. And can't forget Scott Seriton. He is our logistics guru, going to be taking care of all the audio visual. Again, that's February 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 2024, Marriott Northwest. Go to npcornerstones.com, npcornerstones.com, right there on your screen, and check out all the information on there. We also have a Facebook page under North Pole Cornerstones. Check it out. Drop us a line. Got any questions? There's a place there to ask them. And you can get your hotel reservation done there, and you have to go through the website, npcornerstones.com, to get the $149 a night rate with the free breakfast, $20 value on the breakfast. We was able to get the hotel room discounted down really. Gosh, I mean, I can't believe the rate that we ended up getting, thanks to Scott Seriton and his negotiating skills. All meals are included except for this Saturday night out on the town in San Antonio, Riverwalk. Go down. We're going to ride the barges, sing Christmas carols, and then go out and have a big dinner. That's the only meal you'll have to pay for. Taking commercial buses, that's included. The barge boat rides are included. All inclusive, all except for that one meal. Anyway, now then, over to Randy for the Master Claus Academy coming up in March next year.
March, of course. Like I said, what a way to start already in February. That is, and I gotta say a few things about that. It's you guys. Can you believe that those two phenomenal schools are taking it and even popping it up a notch, guys? So that's the coolest thing. It's not just Sat Bob's and Santa Nana. It is taking it up. They're putting whole different stuff together and uniqueness. And besides all inclusive, Sorry, it will be fantastic. But in March is the Master Claus Academy with Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen. Yes, Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen, two professional Santas, professional entertainers. That's what they do full time all year long. So it's we talk about beard whitening and everything else. They probably won't talk about beard whitening and backstories and everything else. They'll talk about performing and everything else. Two phenomenal gentlemen that hard to believe they got Ben Bellhorn got them together for Ohio Santas to do a master class in March. That's March 22nd, 23rd, 24th of 2024. And of course, like I said, I've got another one in yesterday. I was so happy to see another scholarship. We are doing Bob Randyl and Company. We are giving the scholarship away for the $275 entrance fee to the master class. Master Claus Academy. We are giving a scholarship for that. So I got another one in yesterday, another essay that goes in the board. We will get the people to look at it and read it, and somebody's going to win from Bob Randyl and Company, the $275. So thank you guys all so far for filling them in, but don't miss that. It'll be a phenomenal an event too. Two incredible entertainers to teach them. But if you want to know what's going on, go to the Ohio Santas Facebook page or get a hold of Ben Bellhorn. I know there's a few seats left, not a whole lot, but anybody can send in an essay too. Even if you've already paid, you'll get your money back then. Even if you've already paid your $275, you can send an essay in. And of course, Bob's going to tell you a minute about the phenomenal thing that Tuesday Night Live is doing for North Pole Cornerstones, also for scholarships. Can you believe,
right,
guys? Two of them. Bob's going to tell you, man, two scholarships for that.
Actually, we have two now. TNL Productions is sponsoring one scholarship. Today's winner of the trivia and tomorrow night's TNL Production trivia, name goes in the hat for the drawing for the last show of Tuesday Night Live, November 7th is when we'll be doing the drawing. Some lucky person is going to get their name pulled out of the hat, $450 scholarship. That's through TNL Productions, which includes the Monday and Tuesday show. Then North Pole Cornerstones, the six of us have got together and decided that we're offering a scholarship also. So that's two for North Pole Cornerstones. To apply for the North Pole Cornerstone, go over to npcornerstones.com. There is a tab on there. You can find out all the information about how you apply for the scholarship, $450 again. And as Randy says, if you've already paid and you win the scholarship, you get your money back. So,
I mean, it's that's what we all know we love to give back to, not just us, Bob and me. I know the Santa's Mrs. Claus out there love to give back. And that's what this is just giving back to people that want to learn more and everything else. And it's a way of giving. And also, besides, what's fun when you get that, if you do win a scholarship or just go to the events, everything, the fun you'll have and the education you're going to learn. And man, that fellowship, like I said, I probably like to beat the old dead horse about it, but it's probably the best part about those events is hanging out with brothers and sisters in red. That is probably, I love learning, don't get me wrong, they are fantastic, but man, that fellowship is just priceless, and then you can maybe do it for free. Woohoo! Yes, the F word again. Sorry, the F word again. Free if you get a scholarship. Well, you can't, not totally free. You got to travel there and things like that.
You got to travel there. You got to
your class
for your hotel, but $450, equivalent for us. And Randy and the Monday show equivalent is what, $275? Is that what we said?
Yeah, $275.
So, yep. So either way, I'm gonna say you cray if you don't go over and sign up.
Yeah.
The essay and or sign up for the North Pole and or get lucky enough to get your name drawn. Several different ways to win. Name drawn out of the hat. Apply, register on MP Cornerstones. And essay. Hey,
you just have to tell us
having here.
You just have to write why you love being a performer, why you love it. How easy is that? Oh my goodness, it's easy to say why you love it. Oh, the smiles, the the joy. I mean, it's so quick and easy. The hardest thing is maybe writing, but that's all you got to do. So get a chance. Yes,
Yep.
yeah, Mike, I did say that 4-letter word again. I apologize, Mike. Yeah,
All right. So, and that brings us to the next point is School of Santa's 2024, Branson, Missouri, July 18th, 19th, 20, 21st. Keynote instructor, again, Jeff McMullen, Santa Mac, Cranville University, clown extraordinaire, will be there as the keynote instructor. There will be other instructors that will be added to the docket or the school as time goes on here, and Spangle and Jessica will let us know all about that. It's almost sold out. I mean, it's got 106 paid, not just registered. And I say paid, their down payment is paid, which locks them in for their seat. 106 already. Last year, his largest class ever of 108 was the first week of the 2 weeks last year. The room was pretty darn full with everything else that was going on. But he has figured out a way to add a few people standing in the corners. So he's gonna try to push it to another 10 or 15 folks. But again, it's still careful. You're not jammed in there like a can of sardines. But reach out if you want to go to School of Santas, and let Tanya Lay at Branson Ticket and Travel know. If you don't have her number, we've got it. Just let us know. All right, moving along to. I'm sorry, Randy.
Go to the Facebook page. You can't miss it.
Exactly. All right, so moving on to the preview of the TNL upcoming guests and shows. We made this announcement at the top of the show today, but we want to say it again. Tomorrow night, the real Santa Claus. We've had to change our airtime. Instead of our normal 7 p.m. launch time, normally we come on at 7 p.m. Central. We're pushing that forward to 11 a.m. tomorrow. We will air special time live at 11 a.m. with a hour and a half to 2 hour show. We have got a ton of questions, some submitted by our viewers over the last 3 months, and some that we just had to ask. I mean, there's just so many things you want to know. Anyway, going to be a fantastic show, 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. Don't miss it. You just don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, listen to me. 11 a.m. Come join us.
If not,
All
watch
right,
it again at 7 o'clock tomorrow night when you always watch TNL.
Yeah,
there you go.
Go watch the replay now.
Don't miss it.
It takes 10 minutes maybe for it to upload to our Facebook page. And it takes Angela about 45 minutes to upload it to the YouTube channel. But within the hour of the end of the broadcast, you can go over and watch the replay. And like Randy says, if you fancy 7 p.m., sit down like you normally would at 7 p.m., push the button and watch the replay on it. The only thing is you don't get to participate in the comments if you watch the replay and get them answered. I mean, you can put comments in there, and we go back and try to look at the comments. But if you want to participate live and got anything to say to Santa, you need to show up at 11 tomorrow. All right, the following week, October 24th, TNL special, third annual roundtable panel. I'm kind of behind. I don't really have anybody locked in as panelists, so I'm going to be reaching out to some folks this week. See if I can get a panel put together and see if we can get this thing done. I'll have time to formulate and put it together, but I've just got to reach out first and get some panelists. All right, Randy, over to you, sir.
All righty then, guys. Yeah, then can you believe it'll be October 30th? Now, there won't be any Bob Randyl and Company show on the 30th because we are doing the Halloween show that night because we don't want to do Tuesday Night Live on the 31st because the little ones will be out trick-or-treating. So the Halloween special will be on Monday night, the third annual Halloween special. So send in a picture, send in information. If you want to be a part of the Halloween special, then be a little ghoulish that day. But now if you can dress up, but you can't be Santa or Mrs. Claus. That you can't
right.
do. You can't dress up as Santa or Mrs. Claus or even Elf. You can't do that. So yes, Santa or Mrs. Claus them. So, but that's going to be on October 30th, 7 o'clock at night. Just going to be Monday night instead of Tuesday night. We got a few changes these next few weeks, but it'll be a wonderful. It's always been a great show. There's been some fantastic costumes. We got some people already lined up that's got some very cool makeup that you guys are going to be very impressed with on the show. And it's just kind of a fun way to do the Halloween. So we've got no Bob Randall and Company that week, but we have a Halloween special. And then, wow, it's hard to believe, November 7th will be the send off show of the year, the Christmas season, starting the Christmas November 7th. We all know we've got to be, a lot of us are working by then. So that will be the final Tuesday Night Live show of the year, will be November 7th. So join us there'll be guests and excerpts and talks about what happened throughout the year, because you guys have know what has happened all year. It's been phenomenal with the guests and everything else. So don't miss the last show of the year. And man, it's hard to believe to say it's the last show of the year. And actually, next Monday will be the last Bob Randall and Company show of the year on the whatever the 23rd, I believe next Monday is. Will be the
23rd
last,
next Monday. That's
be the
correct.
last
I'm
Bob
glad you
Randall.
mentioned that because I meant to mention that and I did not. But
Oh,
next week will be our last show on the Monday show. Now Randy will be with us on the 30th as part of the crew for the Halloween show, and then we won't have one for the November 6th. No show there, just the 7th to close out the season.
result season.
Moving on along, we want to also tell you about the first TNL production, TNL show of 2024, live from San Antonio. That will be Friday. February 2nd, 2024, we'll do a special live North Pole Cornerstones edition. First show of the season next year. Now we're going to take a few weeks off after that to regroup, get ready, rebrand, get ready for the season. Season 3 opener for the Bob and Randall show is February 19th. February 19th, Monday the 19th. Season 4 opener for TNL production or Tuesday Night Live, February 20th. So those will be our first nights for the new season next year.
Can you believe that many years? That many years, and how many shows?
Well, and when we rebranded after Barry left and you came on board, instead of just continuing as the same show, we wanted to start from scratch at that point. So instead of it being the second season as it should have been, we went back to season 1. So that's why Bob and Randall is season 3 next year, and Tuesday night is season 4. We have 4 seasons each, but we're not counting the first season of the Bob and Barry show because, like I said, we completely rebranded there. So
Ernie's comment
Ernie, what's he got?
is the Halloween show a Zoom. So do we need?
Yes, Ernie. No, it'll be our StreamYard like we always do, just like we're on right now, our StreamYard platform. And whoever is going to be on the show, send me a picture of what your costume is, or just tell me what you're going to be. And if you have any time constraints, say for instance the show starts at 7, but you're going to be late and can't actually be on air till 8, well, just let me know what your availability is what I'm trying to say. And what we do is we sit down, we put together a timeline for each of our guests. They come in. So I may have you on at 7:30. I may have you on at 7:45. May have you on at 8. But we will let you know what time slot that we put you in according to your availability. And Angela sends out a link through our email system. And all you do is click on that link and it brings you right in here, right into the studio. It's simple. It's so easy. It's hard. One click and you're in. So not a problem. Just have to be dressed and ready, and going to have some really cool prizes to give away this year. We've got independent judges coming in. First year we had Daisy May and Spangle do it, independent judge. Last year it was Rachel and Ronnie up in Missouri was our independent judges. This year we've got another couple coming in to do independent judging, someone that we all love and very near and dear to. So gonna be fun. Gonna be fun.
It'll be fun. So there's some fun costumes out here. Some
And
great ingenuity, real good ingenuity. Because so many guys look like this, so many guys look like this, and like Bob and all that. And how do you change that to not look like Santa or a biker or So it's good.
Well, we've got one that's submitted already that I'm really excited about. The character is going to be phenomenal. Not talking about Parker either. We're talking about someone else, but Randy, you're gonna love it. Let's just put it that way. You're gonna
Cool.
love this.
Parker, I was excited to see because I know what he does. I
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean, the stuff that I've seen his pictures is like, wow.
Yep. All right. Let's do trivia answers at this point. You ready?
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna let you read it, and I'll try to pronounce the names. Okay?
Well, you didn't ask if we even had a winner.
Oh, do we have a winner?
No.
We don't.
No.
Well, there was a winner, but the person is in timeout for another week.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh. Time out. We know who that is. Bob's checking to see who that
So
is.
you don't want to mention that because then everybody will look at the answer and then
Yeah, that's true. True. Okay. Well, we did have a winner, but that person is in timeout for one more week, so they're not eligible. So read that question. Put it back up on the screen,
All
Angie.
right, we'll read it again. Are you ready, guys? The air quality in Finland is the best in the world, according to the data released by the World Health Organization. Finland's vast forests play an important role. The forest covers more than blank of the land in Finland. There are over blank national parks in Finland, blank and blank blank national parks being the largest. Basically, we need 4 answers. What percentage of the area of Finland is covered? That would be the first blank. The next is how many parks. They're over blank many national parks. And national parks in Finland and blank, that's basically where the largest ones are.
The name of the 2 largest
Two
parks.
largest parks in Finland. There's 2 largest parks in Finland. And again, those are, I have a hard enough time reading and saying blank and blank than I do saying those words.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give everyone an opportunity. We'll come back and revisit this towards the very end of the show. If no one has gotten the correct answer at that time, we're going to bend the rules and we'll give it to the person that does have it right that's in timeout. It's the only fair thing to do. We want to be able to give away a gift. We're getting down towards the end of the year, and also that name going into the hat for the drawing for the scholarship. So everybody work on that, and we're going to go ahead and slip over and do magical moments, and we'll do the toy catalog preview, and then at the end of the show, we'll come back and readdress this. Keep working on it, guys. Somebody's got to be a winner. All right, Randy, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Angela, we're ready.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Magical Moments. Thank you again so much for letting me be a part of the show again, doing this to everybody. Now, earlier we talked about preparation. That's something I want to talk about because it's not real magical, but if you don't do your preparation beforehand, you're pretty much in trouble and everything else. And so what I've done, I do this, I did an update for me, thank goodness, because I made a mess on my few beforehand. But I made a checklist for myself that I can share with you folks if you'd like, and you can customize it just for you if you like. But it's actually a checklist, so I don't forget what I need to take along with me. I have it broken down to a few different things, like what Santa needs to take with you. Now, we all know we have to put our clothes on, but sometimes we need to dress someplace else too, or we don't drive with our hat on. So I make sure I put on there my hat, a cooling vest, because you never know. Of course, Florida people and everything else cooler. Shirts, vest, jacket, parade coat. I make a whole list, and I don't do it in color for my regular performances. I just print it in black and white. But I then check to make sure I have everything for that event, because many years ago, I went to an event and I just forgot my hat. I was in a hurry and forgot. So thank goodness there was one of the reindeer handlers had a long hat and I put it on. But this is just a good checklist to make sure that I don't forget it anymore. Um, your extra pair of gloves, your phone, your keys, your wallet, cash, credit card, because sometimes you're out there and you got to get something to eat. Um, Extra pair of glasses, tissue, things like that. It's just a checklist to make sure that we are prepared. And of course, the top one here is the contract. If we didn't have that, we're in real trouble to know who it is. I have magic, of course, my balloon pump, and we talked about a couple weeks ago the covering for the lap to have an animal sit on you, and we talked about a minute or the Santa bag, and it goes on just everything that you would to me what I need for all my events I put on here. And of course the bottom is things for my hair. Hairspray do I need because I need my mustache is starting to get a little wilty. I've got to make sure I bring a little hairspray with me to make sure it whitens it up or something. Even little glitter spray. Sometimes I know there's some places I like to put a little glitter in my beard, so I have a little glitter bottle I make sure I bring. And of course, guys, ladies, a little bit of smelly stuff so we smell pretty all the time. Breath mints and all those things are just sometimes we don't think about, or even a hanger, a garment bag, and things like that. It's just a big list to be prepared for what we're doing, because we don't want to forget our little brush, because sometimes our boot toppers it looks so bad. So things like this we should always have with us, and we don't always remember to have that with us. Or little things like, we always bring coins, but something you just don't want to forget. You don't want to forget your even this, you don't want to forget your bells. Sometimes you need the big bells because you're doing a parade and it has on there big sleigh bells or short sleigh bells. What am I doing? I don't need the big long heavy ones for a little home visit, or if I'm sitting at a big box store, but I do need it if I'm doing a parade, because they want to hear that real loud. So it gives me a reminder, so I do not forget anything that I'm looking for. And like we talked about earlier, always be prepared. Have those mini books with you. There's so many little books you can read that you can slide in your bag, but that's something you put together and you just cannot forget. That's what the checklist is for. So we don't forget. We always become prepared. And it's an easy thing to think, and I know I did. I would take things for granted that I'm all set, and oh boy, I didn't put something in my bag, an extra whistle I like, or I forgot my squeaky toy, and we can't leave the house without squeaky toy, or we can't leave the house without 3-4 pairs of gloves, because they can get dirty so fast. So it's just a list. But to not forget, it doesn't matter if you're a Santa or Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus always carries a beautiful purse, like Sean said. She's got a vintage bag she puts in. They can definitely accessorize the look. I do have a bag that a lady that used to work for me years ago made. It's a special Santa bag. I keep everything in it, and it just all stays there. I do the pouch too, like a lot of them do. I keep my phone there and my keys there, but we've got to make sure we don't have our car keys only. We have our other keys. We have everything with us. It's just a quick reminder, because a lot of us sometimes go from event to event also, and you might not be home. You might do 3, 4, 5 out of some people do a dozen events sometimes a day, and you've got to make sure that you're going to a house visit. If you do 6, 8 a day, you've got to make sure you've got enough for every house. So you make a list like, okay, this is house number 1. I have everything for that. House number 2. You don't want to run short by the end of the day. It's just covering your, where, because we don't want to disappoint. Like I said earlier, we were talking about leaving an event early, or have to leave, not early, having to leave for another event, how it crushes if you can't satisfy every child or make them happy. And that's what we want to do. So we don't want to miss anything to make the children happy or the families happy, because we want to get rebooked. We want to sell ourselves. We want to sell that smile, that happiness, that joy, that love that we give as Santa and Mrs. Claus. So that's just a little help, little list to keep us on track. And boy, think about it. Was it 19 days? It kind of scares me, and that scares me. It's 19 days, and it's time to go to work for me. 69 days. It's all over. The season's over. 69 days is already Christmas Day. So we've only got, I know there's so many Santas and Mrs. Claus are already working, doing photography and everything else. So they're already doing this stuff. But in the beginning of November, man, we are just boom, 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 day in and day out. So we don't want to forget anything. We don't want to disappoint everybody. We want to keep those smiles, that laughter, that joy. We want to make that belief go on as long as we can. So we want to make sure we always bring the coins, always bring the the cards, whatever we're going to give away, the magic that you do, like Bob said, the thumb tips that you can get there. There's so many places you can get it from Spangle, you can get it from Santa Claus Net. Closet. I always say it about Santa Closet. There's so many great giveaways to give away, and put them on your list too. That ones that you like to do, candy canes, if it's coins, if it's something. Or they have the keys, they have the pouches, they have the things that strap everything to your belt. Purchase them from those guys. They are great, great companies that take care of all us Santas and Mrs. Clauses. So give them the business. You've got a couple weeks to get the product in, but make a list. I will be glad to send you mine, and you can modify it a little bit if you'd like. But I'd be glad to send you mine. But be organized, like Bob says. Be prepared, because it's going to be a great season. And man, we want to give as many smiles as we can, because it is so rewarding, and we are just lucky. Very lucky to be able to do this. I can't be more blessed and thankful that I get a chance to make somebody smile and make somebody's life better, because the world and you guys have made my life better being a part of it. So thank you so much. Always love you guys. Thank you for being a part of Monday. Oh, did Bob leave? No, we leave? I can keep on talking.
And she's in the middle of working on the trivia stuff. So anyway, fantastic job, Randy. I was there. I just wasn't on screen with you. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump in and do our sneak peek into Santa's Toy Catalog 2023, and then come back, like I said, and address the trivia question. So Angela's going to play the lead in, and we'll be right back after that. All right, so we're going to go over to Annabelle here in just a moment. Just want to say that the first toy that she talks about is a new toy. The second one has actually been around for a few years, but the popularity has really grown this year, and I think that's due to maybe the eclipse that we just had. I don't know how many of you got to see the eclipse. We got to see about 82% here. Got my welding hood out for viewing, and we all went out and watched it. It was really cool. Now, April of 2024, we will actually see a total eclipse here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we get another chance. Very unusual. But anyway, let's go ahead and turn it over to Annabelle and let her do her segment.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on the Bob, Randyl, and Company Live preview show for this Monday. This is week number 8 and our sneak peek into Santa's toy catalog for the Christmas season 2023. Over the last 7 previous weeks we have previewed toys that top expert analysts predict to be top sellers and surely asked for by children during their visits with Santa this Christmas season. Now for this week's previews, our first toy is a dream come true for little inspiring mechanics. This realistically detailed truck engine comes apart into 62 authentic parts that children can fix and put back together. Take everything apart piece by piece. Check the oil. Check the spark plugs. Remove the engine cover and check the engine. Lower the stilts to jack up the vehicle and then replace the wheels, brake discs, and shock struts. The steering wheel features a button for honking the horn. The headlights actually light up. Plus there's an ignition button for firing it up and a lever for switching from park to reverse to neutral to drive, all with realistic sounds. It even comes with a working key fob. Designed with a storage slot for the included tools and chunky parts that are just right for the youngest mechanics, the My Auto Shop Engine Builder Set is an ideal, early introduction to the thrills of engineering. There are a number of companies offering a variety of different models, and can be found from a host of supply companies or retail outlets. How much fun could the Smalls have with a cool toy like that one? Now, let's move right along and take a sneak peek at our second toy for week number 8. Let's explore the solar system. The Educational Insights GeoSafari Jr. talking telescope helps kids learn fun facts about outer space without having to go outdoors. Listen closely as this witty little telescope shares 120 cool facts about space, plus a fun quiz show with 120 questions for the ultimate science show and tell experience. Includes 24 eye-opening images straight from the cosmos. Promotes STEM learning and encourages an appreciation of exploration and discovery. My first telescope for preschoolers and up in age is a realistic working telescope that introduces young children to using scientific equipment. It has 9 times magnification while keeping the field of vision wide, which is essential for young children's understanding of magnified views. I love what one mom told me about her 2 sons' experience with this toy. She said, "Best telescope for 3 to 7-year-old children." I can honestly say, this has to be one of the best things we have ever got for our boys. Being space mad 4 and 6-year-olds, they have been asking for a telescope for what seems like an eternity. Unlike other telescopes, they can actually see the different planets and stars, and learn about them too. After only having this for a short time, my 4-year-old is already reciting space facts to me that he has learned so far. Well, that is going to do it for week number 8 and our sneak peek at 2 of the hot toys that some of the littles will surely be asking you clauses for this holiday season. Annabelle reporting for yet another week, and we will be back with more next week right here on the Bob, Randy, and Angela show. Sorry guys, just had to let Angela know we love her. Back to you guys in the studio.
She's amazing. She's amazing. I love that telescope. Wow. And how many pieces to do your engine? Man, she is digging some
60,
cool items.
60 plus pieces to that.
Man.
Steering wheel comes off, wheels come off. You can change the brake pads. The dashboard comes apart. I mean, you can literally just
That's
disassemble it.
crazy.
61, 62 pieces. And there's different models by different manufacturers, but they're all basically the same identical idea. And of course, you can see that the price ranges from mid 70s all the way up to 120, depending on where you
Yeah,
buy it and which model it is. But thought that was pretty cool because
that's
children
super
nowadays,
cool.
you
Oh
know,
man.
are just. I mean, we didn't have nothing like that. I mean, Play-Doh.
Oh,
I think our Legos and even before that, the Lincoln Logs was probably some of the coolest stuff we had. But I mean, anyway,
yeah,
pretty
that's
neat stuff. But
amazing.
the telescope. That is really, really cool.
That's I mean it's the thing is get powerful, or I mean for a little tiny for a toy, even for a little one to
9
see.
times the magnification, and in all the program that's built into it in the program
Yeah, the
mode.
little yeah, for
Yeah,
education part of
and,
it. Wow.
so
I'd push that. I'd say I'd bring it up as you're a Santa, bring it up with the children and talk about it because that's a neat one.
yeah.
That's a
Well, I thought for sure you was gonna mention, Randy, the short person.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny. Pretty cute.
it's pretty cool, pretty cool.
Uh,
Alright, so fantastic. Annabelle always does such a great job,
dynamite.
and, of
Dynamite.
course, next week will be the finale, and, uh, she promised that she was gonna bring her sister back, so we'll see if they can get together and do a report together next week, and, so, alright, let's go ahead and jump into that trivia answer. The trivia answer was the forest covers 74 point or approximately 75% of the land, 40 or 41. There's conflicting answers there. The sources I used said 40, but the majority of the folks that answered said 41. So I'll take the 41. The name of those two parks, the two largest parks in Finland, Lemmenjoki. Is that how you would say that, Randy? Lemmenjoki?
Yeah, Lemmenjoki. We'll let our wonderful guests figure out how to pronounce
You interpret that yourself.
Lemmenjoki.
And
Lemenoki.
Urho Kekakoni? Conan.
Yeah,
Urho Kekan Kahonen. Something like that. National parks were the two largest. Again, URHO. Second word, Kekkonen. And our winner there was actually Rex Ray. Rex had it right from the very beginning, but if you've watched the shows, you know Rex usually passes the prizes on. He made a comment that he hadn't won on the Monday show and he would love to have the prize. So he was actually the first winner. He gets the prize. But since he's part of the North Pole Cornerstones group, he can't apply for the scholarship. So we're going to put the second winner, second correct answer's name in the hat for the drawing, and that was Angie.
Randy Newman.
Randy Neely.
Randy Neely, great.
Randy Neely. That's right. Randy's name goes in the hat. He don't get the prize, but he does get the chance for a scholarship. And him and Debbie are two of our volunteers that are going to help us tear down in San Antonio. Very gracious for them. Got to see him week before last at the Texas State Santa Eat Meat. Sat and chatted with him. Got a picture of him and Mitch Allen together at the table. It was fantastic to have Randy come out. Deb wasn't with him, but Randy came out. Randy and Larry Davis sat together in the beginning. They finally was able to push up the table and get them involved. But two new guys that was in Branson this year, they are both just like a sponge, soaking things up. So fantastic. All right, Randy, you got any other comments or questions?
Man, all I can do is thank everybody again. We've got one more Bob Randyl and Company show coming up next Monday before we wrap it up for the end of the year. So I just want to say thank everybody again from the bottom of my heart, from everything else, being a part of this. And you, Bob, for getting this started, and Angela for all the hard work. My love goes out to you guys all, and thank you for everything. That's what I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. And
two comments during his segment. Don Sullivan wants a copy, and Parker wants a copy.
Yep, I will. I'll make. I will. I am them, or I will send them out in an instant message to both of you guys. If anybody else wants one, I'll be glad.
Sullivan and Parker both want copies. Okay, if anybody else wants copies, reach out to Randy on that checklist and let him know. Speaking of Randy, we just want to say that our heart has been with Randy this week. Been a tough week for Randy. We love you, brother. You're looking good, and you know the community is always behind you. You need someone to talk to, reach out to any of us. But I've told you before, doesn't matter if it's the middle of the night. Reach out if you need to talk.
Thank you. Yeah, it was made it through. Yesterday was the year anniversary of the accident, so it was. But like I said, everybody's over. My daughters and the grandkids, they were all over. We had my wife's favorite dinner, Chinese, so we all just spent it together. So we made it. It's just
good.
But again, thank you for the community for helping out and just being such a wonderful part of my life. Thank you. I wouldn't have made it without this community. You guys have no idea how amazing you all are.
Diane Van wants a copy of your checklist also. Randy put her on the list.
Send it out, Dan. I'd be glad to.
And Randy Neely also. So they're pouring in.
Cool.
All right, Randy. We've done our hour and a half. It was a great show. Loved Annabelle's segment. Loved your checklist segment. Hot topics. Can't say enough about the folks that tune in, week out, and new folks that join us periodically with their participation in the hot topic segment. Like I said, the more we share, the better we are. We just we're always about education here. I hated to keep throwing the P word out, but your segment on magical moments, preparation from the beginning, and of course that F word.
Santa da, 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 and it's all free, folks. That's right. All this Saturday,
Right.
Monday, everyone you watch again on YouTube, Tuesday Night Live, they're all free, guys. And that's the whole
That's
thing.
right. And remember tomorrow's live interview with the real Santa Claus, 11 a.m. special airtime. Replay can be seen on YouTube and the Facebook group at your convenience. But gosh, guys, show up at 11 in the morning and let's have a big crowded audience to support Santa. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the big guy. He's the one that, without the big guy, who are we? So show up, join us tomorrow, and we'll see you back next week here on Monday for the last show of the season. I know it's going to be bittersweet. Has been a long season. I think I'm ready for a little bit of a break. But the break is going to be short. It's only going to be a few months, and we're going to be working over 2.5 months of that. Doing what we do. So don't forget to subscribe to the Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show over on YouTube. We really need your subscriptions. Share it. If you can, share the Monday show, share the Tuesday show. If you share it, more people see it, the more people will join in, subscribe. The more subscriptions we have, the better YouTube pushes us out into the community. We're limited. We're a small group, Santa's, Mrs. Claus's, but they will push it beyond that if you start to share, like, comment. All those things go towards the algorithm of YouTube. Got to understand how YouTube works, and it's just their way of doing business. So let's play that game. Let's play it better than everybody else. Let's play it well. Share, comment, like, thumbs up. Love you all. We'll see you back here on next Monday for the last show of the season. 11 a.m. tomorrow, Santa Claus. Thanks, Randy.
Thanks. Love everybody. See you later. Thank you.